From the road to hell to live from Mount Olympus and everything in between, we've got Tony, Emmy, and Grammy Award winner André De Shields. And he can take any audience on an incredible journey. I know because I was in that audience. In a career spanning 55 years, De Shields is not only a legendary actor and Broadway icon, but also a philanthropist, advocating for HIV and AIDS survivors, as well as the founder of the André De Shields Fund, which benefits students who experience cultural marginalization. And André De Shields, oh, how lucky we are to have you here to talk about the podcast live from Mount Olympus and so much more.
Good morning, Gio.
Oh, good morning. It's such a pleasure to have you here. First of all, because of all you represent, but your incredible talent as well. It's now your 5th season hosting this podcast.
Yes,
live
do you
from
believe it?
5th season, and it's amazing, and people just keep getting hooked because so many kids, so many families are really listening to this to learn about Greek mythology, and I'm told that it's from the Onassis Foundation, right?
The Onassis Foundation and co-produced by The Team.
Okay.
Now, that's an acronym for Theater of the Emerging American Moment.
Oh, and you are the moment, my friend. Hey. You are the moment. What is it about Greek mythology that resonates so much right now with listeners?
Well, first of all, this Western Hemisphere always claims that its progenitor is Greece, even through Rome. Now, we get our democracy from the Greeks. We get our jurisprudence from the Romans. But all it is a mirror of ourselves. We understand ourselves by looking at the gods. So don't be surprised if we ultimately decide that God didn't make us in its image. We made the gods in our image.
Wow.
So Greek mythology is a huge compendium, right, of metaphysical examples of how we should live our lives. Just like when we go to see a film, we always understand it better if it's animated. So that's what Greek mythology is.
You put a little of yourself in there. And you play on the podcast, you play the host Hermes, but also you played Hermes in Hadestown on Broadway.
Yes, yes.
Are the two characters aligned? Are they the same?
No, they're not the same. Although, in terms of the legacy of that particular god, he's messenger to the gods. He also created language and music. So those two attributes are the same for Hermes in Hadestown and Hermes in Live from Mount Olympus. However, in Hadestown, Hermes has to remain the articulate storyteller. In Live from Mount Olympus, Hermes has an opportunity to be the snarky sibling of all the other gods.
Oh, and that must be so fun for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that you have talked about wanting to leave behind this legacy to embrace, quote, the black man majesty. What do you mean by that?
I mean that in terms of cultures, when I speak about Mother Africa, which is where all of African Americans, in terms of the diaspora, have come from, we very seldom embrace the legacy of knowledge. The first libraries were on the continent of Africa. We very seldom embrace the royal legacy of the many nations that are on the African continent. So in terms of this constant need to readjust to what is the American sense of pluralism, I want people to understand that not every person that was kidnapped from Africa was a savage. Some of us were actually kings. And what I'm doing in my missions, all of my missions, is searching for the throne to which I know I am heir.
You know what, though? You don't have to search for it. You are sitting on the throne, my
Okay.
friend. And we are so
I've
honored
arrived.
to
I'm
have
home.
you here with us to talk about this.
Thank you so
André
much.
De Shields, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're such a pleasure. And you, of course, can listen to Season 5 of Live from Mount Olympus now wherever you listen to your podcast.